Hello, my friends, it's January 12th, 2018, and it's time for today's big story. Happy Friday, everybody! Oh, we got them all going this week. So the Switch is an amazing piece of hardware in some ways. The size and what it can do for that size and just the portability and all that stuff. There's some really cool things in there. But then there's some other tech that maybe not, it's not the latest tech that's available. So the Switch doesn't do stuff like 4K and some other things. And a few people are like, why doesn't the Switch do that? I don't want a system that can't do virtual reality or can't do 4K. So Nintendo stepped in to talk about why the Switch doesn't support VR, or why Nintendo isn't really going after VR or 4K stuff. Computer, can you please show me what VR is all about? I'm going to read you a comment from Nintendo France's managing director about virtual reality and 4K, and why Nintendo's not really focusing on that stuff at all. If you look at VR headsets, I doubt they can appeal to the mainstream. Consumers are not patient with entertainment if you're not able to deliver an all-inclusive package. As far as 4K is concerned, is it useful to invest in a technology that has not been adopted by the majority? Where are 4K TVs now? Is it a good idea to invest in the technology before consumers do? We can't invest in everything, and what novelty would we bring compared to our competitors? If we do the exact same thing that everyone else does, we're bound to die because we are smaller than them. With the Switch, we offer different uses, adapted to players' pace of life. Its advantage is being able to fit into your daily life. When it comes to the 4K stuff, Nintendo talked pretty much like this back with the Wii, except it was an HD discussion. So when the Wii came out, a lot of people were like, why aren't you supporting HD? Why doesn't this do 720p and 1080p? And Nintendo was like, well, the adoption rate for those TVs isn't really where we are at right now. So we wanted to go with something that would be more affordable to the consumer. And obviously, as the Wii went on, HD adoption became the norm. Now it's the norm for people to have TVs that can do 1080p. But when you look at the adoption rate from just 1080p into 4K, it doesn't seem like consumers are as eager to move into that area, getting TVs that can support 4K and stuff like that. The jump from standard def to high def was a big deal. The jump from high def to 4K doesn't seem like it's moving at the same pace by any means. So Nintendo doesn't feel they don't really need to do that right now, which I can understand. And when it comes to VR, that's something completely different. I would love to see Nintendo do some VR stuff, but with the Switch, they had, you know, a few ideas that they really wanted to drive home for the platform, and VR just wasn't a point in that. So I could see Nintendo doing something with VR down the road, but it's just not where their head's at right now. Barracks on Go Nintendo says, cannot wait for Switch 2 and everyone wondering where is the 8K and 120 frames per second standard undocked. Hell, curious how 4K is even a noticeable thing on any TV smaller than 50. When it comes to see, like, I'm a different type of gamer, and that might just be because I'm from a different generation, you know. I grew up with Atari and then Nintendo's platforms, and I wasn't worried about resolutions or any of that. I was just playing the games, and, you know, I played games on the Game Boy where there was no backlight and you had to sit under a light to play, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying better resolutions and better frame rates and stuff like that are bad. You know, I definitely think they have their place, but when it comes to me and how I play games, that's not why I'm playing them. I'm playing them for the experience. And by and large, I feel any platform out there right now is more than capable of delivering at least a visual experience as far as resolution goes that I'm perfectly fine with. So this isn't really like, I don't really have a dog in this fight, but I know a lot of people take this stuff seriously, and I think it's because they grew up in a time where games focused on that stuff a lot. So now when Nintendo doesn't, even though they've traditionally not really focused on that stuff, these people are like, why isn't Nintendo? So I can understand it. Again, it's not my thing, but it's certainly a hotly debated topic, and yes, it seems like it's going to continue on. As long as resolutions keep getting better, and TVs are able to put out better pictures, then I'm sure people are going to wonder why the latest gaming platforms don't support those things. Alright, my friends, that's today's big story for January 12, 2018. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing, and commenting. It's very much appreciated. I won't be back tomorrow with the big story, but I'll be back with the latest episode of the Go Nintendo podcast. That records at 3:15 p.m. East Coast time, so if you'd like to join us, that'd be lovely. But if not, then just enjoy your weekend, hang out with some friends, play some games, have some fun. You deserve it. I will catch you on Monday for whatever Monday's big story is. So until then, have a lovely day and a lovely evening, and I'll see you in a few short hours. Hey guys, RMC here from Go Nintendo. If you like what you saw in the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up and maybe even subscribe? We'd love to have you. If you want to see what else we're up to, you can check out GoNintendo.com for 24-hour Nintendo news. You can visit us on Facebook at facebook.com/GoNintendo. You can check us out on Twitter at twitter.com/GoNintendoTweet. And we're even over on Instagram at instagram.com/GoNintendo. I put all the links in the description just to make it easier for you guys to follow. Thanks a lot.